Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. We had some technical difficulty, but that's all right, because the devil will not win. I am down in New Zealand with Margaret Alden. We call her Mags. She is an intuitive spiritual coach. This woman may appear to us on the outside as that she has a disability because she lives with cerebral palsy, and she has been in a chair for 54 years. But that is not nearly the gift that she has. The gift that she has is her ability, her intuitive gifts, her sight, her wisdom, the way that she prays for me, for other individuals, has taken me to a whole nother level, a whole nother frequency. And I'm so glad to have her here to share her insight. So we're going to talk to her about that and a whole lot more. Let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Mags?
I'm great. And yourself? Thank you for this awesome opportunity. Hi, United States of America. So great to be here.
It's great to have you. I'm so excited about this. Brains, we just sat and we did a dynamite interview, and for some reason, my computer technology didn't work. But that's not going to take away from our gifts and talents. It's not going to take away from the message that we were meant to give to you, because that's how the adversary works. When you're on fire, the devil comes in there and he just kind of swoops in and tries to take over. So I want to ask you a little bit about your story, your journey, and your truth.
So I've always had a disability, and I've always been in chair, and I've always been misunderstood and mischaracterized, and that's partly because I've got a big mouth. And if I don't like something, I'll stand up for it and I'll say that's not right.
Well, you have a big heart. Your heart matches your mouth, which is wonderful. You have had an extensive career. You went to college, you got a degree, you're working with the disabled community there, you're an advocate. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, I haven't always been okay with wheelchairs. You see, I grew up in the able-bodied community. I'm more comfortable talking to someone with 2 legs than I am with 4. But so it's been an adjustment being this involved with other people with disabilities, and it's made me question why. It made me question my own identity, and then I realized that I hadn't come to terms with my own disability. I was ashamed of who I be, and it wasn't until I realized that I had an intuitive gift that I was able to come home to myself.
That's a big aha moment, that you say, why aren't you angry with God?
I was angry with God for a long time. I always wanted my feet. I thought, God, why didn't you give me my feet? Because I wanted to be a doctor. I had plans to go to medical school. I wanted to cure a particular type of pediatric cancer, leukemia to be precise, and I wanted to be the first disabled uh, doctor in the country to cure cancer. Wow. And I was very disappointed that I left going to medical school till I was in my 40s, and then it was too late for me by then, because you can only have a short career as a doctor And so if I had gone to medical school earlier, I think I could have made a difference. And then I learned that I can make a difference by accepting my disability and having depression and anxiety all at the same time. It's not a bad thing. Um, it's not a bad thing to have a mental illness to deal with. It's something that we shy away from. It's something we try and medicate. It's something that we try and make invisible. But what I realized recently is that there's nothing to be ashamed of about it, and um, if people can realize that they've got a purpose for being here, even if they do have challenges, well then I've done my job right?
You have done your light, you've done your job so brilliantly that your light radiates and shines. Tell us about your experience in your walk with God. You told me that you were visited by Archangel Michael and Raphael, that you are able to see spirits that are in transition, that have transferred over, and you've been able to channel. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's quite it's quite a scary and lonely kind of place to be, because if you've grown up in the church, they look at you and go, well, if you are able to channel and and talk to the dead, well then you must be into black magic or voodoo or something like that. And I'm like, no, they're just like ordinary people when they die. Well, I mean, when they pass over into this life, they've got a message for you that they want to communicate, because they're not able to pass over. It's not because they're scary. It's just like having a conversation with you.
Mm,
Just because they're dead doesn't mean that they're harmful.
right,
They come here and they've got a message to tell us. They've got a message about maybe they want to warn us about living a better life before we cross over, so that we don't have to go through the same pain they did. Maybe they learned lessons too late and they're trying to warn us, hey, if you fix this up before you cross over, it'll be easier when you get to the other side.
right. Because there's epigenetics, there's generational trauma that we are carrying from centuries back. And as we transition, transform, ascend, it's going to be different. And we have an opportunity, excuse me, we have an opportunity to right some of those wrongs. People are so convoluted right now that they don't believe the truth. The truth is based upon their perception, and their perception is diverted by the idiot box, by the naysayers. People are not talking about God, religion, Allah, Buddha. They're not doing that anymore. And I noticed down in your part of the country or your part of the world is that I find more individuals that are into metaphysics, that are into quantum physics, that are into energy, and not as much as the religious texts. How did you grow up um, being a Christian?
I was gonna go to I was gonna become a minister, and then um I kept on getting asked, oh, this person's got a curse on their house, or this land is being cursed by somebody, can you come and clear it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And people would say to me, you're opening yourself up to the devil if you do that stuff. And you've either got to choose God, or you've got to choose witchcraft. You can't have both. And I'm like, hang on. If we're not if we're not God's representative outside of the church, well then God didn't just come for people within the church.
Right.
He came for people that were clairvoyant. He came for people that were astro travelers. He came for people that had their third eye open instead of closed. He came for people that had alternative galaxies that they go and visit every night, like me. I'm from the Pleiades. I'm from the Pleiades constellation, and so my spirit guides from Pleiades, they take me there every night, and I go visit
Wow.
and then come home and come home by the morning. But it's nothing new to me. It's
Right.
like it's like there are aliens. How can there not be aliens? Because God is not such a closed God that He wouldn't make other worlds.
Right.
And
And that's what I say too.
if we think that we're the only people here, forget about it.
Right. 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 And to whom much is given, much is required. And I say that all the time. That can be uh, wealth, that could be money, that could be beauty, but it could also be turmoil. It could be challenges. It could be disabilities. It could be, um, inabilities. There is a lot that God expects from each soul. This is a meat suit. You had said something to me earlier that was I thought was pretty cute. You said if I took the skin off of me and you really saw what I was made of, you said I'd be scared to death. And I understand. And people always want to talk about their true, authentic self. Yeah, I use air quotes because what is true and authentic? You said something else that was very powerful. You talked about um, clearing. Clearing is something that people don't do. I know I clear my space. I burn sage, Palo Santo. I play my singing bowls. I pray. I meditate. I walk on the beach. I ground myself because you have to get off the anxiety that the world puts on you. What are some of the things that you encourage your people to do, as well as you do for yourself, to clear your energy and your space to be a clear conduit and a deliverer of God's message?
Well, the first thing that I remind someone when I'm working on them is that whatever we clear here today is not only cleared for your generation, but it's cleared for your generation gone before you. So anything we clear here will be cleared in the 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, and our ancestors are going, thank you very much. And if we don't acknowledge our ancestors um, that have gone before us, they have given us both good and bad. They've given us both good and bad traits. And if we only acknowledge the good sides of our ancestors, well, then we're gonna have a harder job. But I always make sure that I clear my space after I've been anywhere like the supermarket or even to the park, because you don't know what entities are being carried around by someone else, even if they pass by you. I mean, you can sometimes tell because often people will say, "Oh, they make me feel awkward," or "They make me feel uncomfortable." So you know something's there, but you're not oftentimes you're not quite sure what it is. So but it's also very important to know who you believe in and what you declare, because your words are powerful. And so the strongest thing you can do is say, I stand in who I am, and you can't deviate from who you are. If you believe you're a child of God, if you believe that your entity is stronger than any other entity and nothing can cross you and you're protected, well then you have to walk like that. You can't not walk like that. If you let your guard down, any kind of spiritual entity can come into you and can disrupt what you know to
Right.
be true.
Because you know that Satan was God's most perfect angel. And when you open
Yep.
yourself up to these entities, you have to be careful because there are evil spirits that are among us. It might be your next door neighbor. But you never know. And so you have to be careful, you have to clear, you have to be aware. Now, Max, tell me a little bit about your family and growing up. You say that they have a little bit of a challenge with you being using the word intuitive.
They don't believe that you are able to talk to the dead. And I tell them, look, mum and dad and my brothers and sisters, I say, look, I'm not talking to the dead because the body is gone. When they're buried in the grave, they're gone. But I'm talking to who they were. I'm talking to their soul. And if they're coming back to me, it's not because they want to harm me. It's not because they want to do anything bad. They want to warn us, or they want to teach us something, or they might want to celebrate with us. Say if you graduate from high school and they wanted to be there at the time, they're just coming to say congratulations that you graduated high school. I didn't get that far. I wanna celebrate you. They're coming back to give you either a warning or a celebration, or they might come back and help you have extra strength to go through something, like you might have gone through a car accident, and your relative from the other side might come back to you to help you through your recovery.
Right.
You don't know that, and so you got to be open minded. Like, they're not here to harm you; they're here to strengthen you.
Right. And I totally believe that because I'm visited. I've been visited by spirits since I was a child as well. And it's just like having a conversation. Um, so let's ask some fun questions. So, Max, you're going to tell us a little bit about your love interest. You had a wonderful man in Canada. Now, see, Brains, you're quick to assume that she's in a chair. That doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve love. And that doesn't mean that she has not been in love. Share that with us.
Yes, well, I had a lovely man. He taught me things like astro travel. He taught me things about Native American culture and about shamanism and about mysticism. And he was able to show me that there are different modalities and different ways in which we can heal ourselves. But he taught me that you can be loved without having sex. You can have intimacy with another soul without actually being connected physically with the other soul. You can still have, dare I say it, you can still be orgasmic.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
right.
still you can still you can still have pleasure just because you're not connected flesh to flesh doesn't mean you can't have that experience. And I
Because the
think,
orgasm is in the mind, Brains. It's in the
yes,
mind.
and I think that as soon as you learn that, then you also learn that it's not about what you look like that matters. It's about your heart, right?
That's right.
And God knows I know Supermodel, but he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I
Right.
saw something in him that he never saw in himself. And um, there are times when God gives us challenges, like not only my disability, but I haven't had children, and I would have had 8. Um,
You would have
I haven't. There are lots of experiences that I haven't had. Do I grieve that? Yeah, sure I do. But do I let that get me down? Sure I do. But it's either will I rise or will I succumb? Let me say that again. Will I rise or will I succumb?
Absolutely.
See, it's a
Absolutely.
choice, brains. It's a choice. Every day we've got to decide, shall I rise or shall I succumb? And we've all got a purpose and we've all got a journey that we must travel. And sometimes our journey is what we want, and sometimes it's not what we want. But oftentimes we've made a soul contract that we don't even know about to live in a different experience so that we can teach the world
Absolutely.
something. Because
And
it
they can
says in
see
the
the
good book,
world, they can see the world through a different lens because
yeah,
you're
it
able to
says
do
in the good
something.
book, God gave disability to confound the wise.
Exactly. And there are other abilities. Because you can't walk, because you can walk, are you walking in the right direction? Because you can talk, are you speaking love and power and kindness and goodness? Because you can um, make love, are you abusing that or are you loving yourself? So there's a lot of things that we need to look at. We need to pull back the layers of our existence. You said that you've been able to channel. I had another one of my guests on the show, and she too was able to channel Mozart. And she told me that Mozart liked me. I was so excited to hear that. What are some of your gifts that you have been given when it comes to your channeling and astral
Well,
travel experience?
before I came on the show, um, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. I'd like to say Martin Luther King. Um, and he just wanted me to pass on a message that he started his dream. He started the dream. He started his vision, and he saw it to a certain conclusion. But he wants you to know that you're carrying on the legacy, and that you will finish his legacy where his legacy started. And he's so proud of the fact that you will open a can of worms. You will go where scientists and metaphysicists won't even go. You believe in other cosmoses. You believe in all kinds of different ways of being, and your show celebrates difference, diversity, whether you're black, blue, green, or yellow. And he just wants you to know that he started his journey and you're going to finish his legacy.
Wow. Well, I hold that and I receive that because that has been the goal of the show the entire time. It's not about me. I have shows whether you are in politics, if you are a world leader, if you are a millionaire, close to being a billionaire, or if you are a wino on the street corner, a prostitute or a drug addict. It's about your story. It's about what's inside your container. And are you big enough to open it up and express and expound to reach for your highest and greatest good? Ask the universe what else is possible and how can it get any better than this? Often and regularly. It's not about the conversation that I have. I'm just the facilitator. I'm the one that asks the questions. I'm the seeker. I'm out there looking for people like Mag that is going to come and deliver something different. I had one of my guests that she's a poet, she's a slam poet, and her body is so deformed, her face, her hands, everything, that people look at her and they gasp. But when she opens her mouth and she is on that stage, the crowd goes crazy. I've got another dear friend, Connor Head, one of the most insightful people I've ever met, and he's blind and he's a skateboarder. So, brains, don't, uh, as they say, judge a book by its cover until you open it up and look inside the pages. I want to talk a little bit about the work that you do with your clients as well as other intuitives. You work with them to also expound and develop their intuitive gifts. Tell us a little bit about that.
I help them to realize how the universe is communicating with them, because quite often they don't know that they're intuitive, or they don't know how to strengthen the gift that they already have, or they don't know how to protect it. Like, quite often as intuitives, we'll let our battery run dry, and then they'll come to me at 5% energy level, and they'll go, I'm so tired, and I'm so this, and I'm so that, and I'll say, did you did you use your crystals, or did you use your Reiki spray, or did you use a clearing ceremony like sage, or like cilantro? Did you do a prayer ceremony to clear your energy from the outside? And they'll go, no, I forgot. And I go, well, you've got to protect yourself, because as intuitives, we're more in tune to what's going on in the metaphysical world. We can pick up energies, like there's something in your wall over there. Seriously,
Oh,
there's someone standing in your wall over there.
in my house?
Yeah, in your wall.
Oh, okay. And what are they?
Yeah.
What do they want? They want something to eat because we're going to dinner.
Um, what was your office used for before that?
It was my mother's bedroom.
Okay. Did she used to knit?
Did she used to knit?
Yeah.
She can knit a little bit. She made quilts. But
Because I'm seeing a rocking chair and a blanket with a lot of squares on it.
yeah, she well,
Did she used to did she used to um sew particular symbols on her quilts?
she used to kind of put do patchwork together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she's just paying you a visit.
She's here all the time. She is here all the time, and I feel it. I talk to her. I love her. We were peanut butter and jelly, and that is what people are afraid of.
You were very inseparable. You couldn't go. You were never apart.
Never, we'll never be apart. Never be apart ever. So, if you had an opportunity to have dinner with anybody in the world, in the universe, past or present, who would you have dinner with?
I'd have dinner with Benjamin Franklin. I
Mm,
would have dinner with um, Barack Obama, and I would have dinner with a wino.
well, you know what? I get that. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
I'd be a coffee maker.
Wow. Okay. I'd be the refrigerator. I want to be somewhere where I could chill, but also I could freeze it if I have to. If you were a flower in the garden, Mags, what flower would you be?
I'd be an orchid.
Orchids are not they're rare, they're exotic, and they bloom in their own time.
You're here for a reason, a season, or an opportunity. They
Absolutely.
don't come out all year round. So what I learned from that is that you've got to make the best of the opportunity that you've been given on earth. Some people think that this is a dress rehearsal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no dress rehearsal.
Mm. And
This is not a dress rehearsal.
I believe you. I believe you. And in closing, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
That when people finish working with me, that they knew that they mattered, that they had a voice, and that they had a right to be born.
That's beautiful. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you, how to work with you. Um, if they are looking to raise the frequency on their intuitiveness, if they are looking to have some work done, some clarity, or just to have a really great prayer partner, how do they find you, Max?
If you want to work with me, you can find me on Facebook, and you can also find me on LinkedIn. But most of the time now, I'm on Facebook.
Okay, well, brains, go to Facebook. Rewind this interview because it's powerful. Don't judge a book by its cover. Open it up, look at the pages, get involved. Look at the pages of your own life. Raise your frequency to the next level. Don't be so stuck by what other people are saying. Do your own self exploration. You'd be surprised at what you'll find. Go in and love, like, and share. Can you see that? I got a little glare on it. Love, like, and share. Leave a comment because Meg wants to know. Maybe there's a message in the stars for you. Thank you so much, beautiful. Brains, I love you deeply and completely. I'm going to see you again. I don't know if I'm going to come to New Zealand or you're going to come to California.
You're definitely coming to New Zealand.
Yeah, because you said that you want to drive a Formula race car. I want to see you at least in the passenger seat on one.
That's a date.
All right. Bye, brains. Have an amazing day. I'm counting on you.